Preview. You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle in the building. You know who's in the building. Rich Sizzle, J Sizzle, G Sizzle. The Sizzle brothers back again. And you know what we're about to talk about. I don't know. We don't know what we're about to talk about. No, we do know.
Oh, you know what we're going to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. I mean, we got the whole world to talk about. So let's talk about some basketball. Let's talk about some Olympics. Let's talk about baseball. Let's talk about everything. But first, before we can do any of those wonderful things, remember, if you have not liked, subscribed, and shared, please make sure that you hit the button, subscribe. Make sure that you get the notification when new content comes out. And please feel free to leave commentary at the bottom. Let us know what comments and good things you want to say. And even say like, hey, we want you all to talk about Spanish Bulldogs and Spanish Bulldog racing in Guatemala. Those are things that if you want to leave that for the Sizzle, we will find out, we will research, and we will find out about conquistadors and poodles. Yes.
Conquistadors.
No,
conquistadors.
Conquistadors are the little puppies. Those are the little puppies. Those are the puppies that have little tacos on top of them. No, those
that sounds like a special at Taco Bell for $5. The $5 conquistador box.
Oh, that's a quesadilla. I thought that was the name of the band. Oh, okay.
About to get the entire Latina organizations out on us. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
All right. Did they have tacos?
Oh my God.
Wow. Direct all your letters to G Sizzle at
You can hate me if you want to.com. You know I don't care. You just
my wife gonna break her foot off in your conquistador. That's what she gonna do.
Okay, well, doggone it. Wow. Everybody wants a part of they want a conquistador night today, Jack. Well, you know who's been breaking their foots off in conquistadors? Everybody in the NBA. Everybody's been doing some conquistadoring, and it's been some moving, some shaking, a lot of baking, and a lot of making.
It was hot fire, wasn't it?
Oh, baby, it was hot sizzle. It was right out the kitchen. So, listen, since it was so hot out the kitchen, Jay, I'm going to start with you. Was there any move that you saw over the past 2 days of free agency that said to you, this is the move of free agency?
Oh, the move of free agency was when Chris Paul got to sign for another $44 million. What were they doing? It's like $44 million. Are you kidding me? Come on now. Ain't Chris Paul 175 years old? Did he show you what he could do in the playoffs last year? And you up him up, you extend him for $44 million? I know Devin Booker's like, oh, what? Are you kidding me? You know, but the happiest guy out there is Zach LaVine right now. He's actually like going, maybe we might actually win some games. Maybe this year. But, you know, the Bulls did sign. They paid big money for a guy who's not a real good three-point shooter and who's a little long in the tooth coming from the Spurs. So is it a big splash deal? Yeah. But is it a great deal? That might be a couple of years too late. I think DeRozan is on the back end and he's getting paid on his name instead of his production. And that's going to be a problem for the Bulls because the Bulls still need to put the ball in the bucket. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to let you guys jump in on this, but I got a lot to say about this Bulls DeRozan deal.
Man, I smell hateration, and holleration. Listen, they giving everybody $20 million a year right now. Why not? Why not give DeRozan? He actually came off of one of his statistically best seasons of his career over there last year in a bum San Antonio Spurs squad where he was D-man, did not have anybody else to throw the ball to, nobody else to pass the ball to, nobody else to rebound the ball to, nobody else to steal the ball from or nothing. And he was getting buckets. So at least you got a little bit of help over in Chi-Town now. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Don't sit there and throw stones up in this glass house, which we know is glass, but at least they got the firepower to throw back now. Just saying.
Well, we had this discussion in the chat.
We did.
We've been talking
good
about
one.
this all day, really, in the chat when we were talking about the Bulls. But Jay, let me ask you this: Daniel Tice leaves. You let and you're thin at that position, and then you go out and sign.
Tice play for the Bulls.
How many minutes did anybody play for the Bulls last year? I don't know. Dog Skibbit. The only person that played more was Patrick Williams. How about that?
Man.
Is that the power forward of the future you want? I don't want it. But you paid Alex Caruso the same money that you paid that Daniel Tice got to sign in Houston. I don't know why he went to Houston.
You pay Alex Caruso the same amount of money that you paid Cristiano Felicio.
Yeah. And on that point, that was an actual steal to get Caruso at that price.
That really makes me sad.
What was bad was the Lakers' response was this. See you later, alligator.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah, they hit him with the deuces, and who's going? Hey, you know, with the Lakers, who's going to play defense up there now? Kadavius Caldwell-Pope is gone. You know who is going to play defense? But get back on me. Carmelo, 7-minute Mel. You know what I'm saying?
Dwight Howard.
Come on now. That team's gonna be crazy up there. I don't know what the Lakers gonna be doing. Get back to the Bulls.
Go ahead. Get back to the Bulls. Oh, I thought they were gonna sign Paul Gasol.
Might as well. They listen.
Might as well.
You know, remember the show, the movie and the book, The Lord of the Rings? They had 12 people around them. They called the Fellowship of the Ring. I'm gonna call them the Fellowship of the Ring Chasers. That's what they are. That is exactly.
Come on down.
Listen, that's trademark. If I hear anybody else call the Lakers the Fellowship of the Ring Chasers, I'm suing them. Telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, that is all they are. And then remember, I said it on this show when you were like, who are they going to, Jay, you were like, who are they going to pick up after Russell Westbrook got signed? I said, it's going to be a whole bunch of ring chasing little old punks running around trying to get the ring. That's what I said. Did I say that?
Absolutely.
I said they'll have no problem signing a whole bunch of old DBs trying to go grab a ring before they get up out of their career. And that's exactly what's happening now.
You're absolutely right. And that's one of the reasons why DeMar DeRozan did not go to the Lakers, was because they were not offering him a full deal over there. He was going to come to the Lakers at a discount. The Chicago Bulls were a full team that was going to pay him 3 years and $85 million. And that's one of the reasons why he's here, because he could maximize his dollars on the back end of his career. That's why he's in Chicago. If he had his druthers, he'd have been over there hanging out with LeBron too. So the question is right now with the Chicago Bulls is that did they upgrade? Significantly, they upgraded. The last of the Mohicans that was still here from the old regime are Kobe White and Zach LaVine. So now you're looking at, we're not going to mention Patrick Williams, but now because he's not from the old regime. But now
he's still hanging around.
We'll see about that. I don't know how. We'll see about this
He'll
one.
Probably be going tomorrow.
But yeah, well, it all depends who'll take him. though. That's the problem with Lauri Markkanen, because he still owed that money on the top end. But now we got to look at right now. You got Alonzo Ball. You've got a Zach LaVine. This is going to be a formidable backcourt. Especially running and getting out on the floor. This is going to be a good running ball club and a much better defensive ball club than what we've seen. The Bulls are going to be very good defensively. The question is right now, and still, is Caruso going to be enough coming off the bench to keep that second squad, give them some scoring punch, give them some toughness on the defensive end? Is he going to be enough? And we still have to see how they're going to fill out their bench. There's still a long way to go with the Chicago Bulls on making them a team that's going to be able to compete in the East. You still got to deal with the 76ers. You still got to deal with Giannis. You still got to deal with everybody above you. This move still only makes the Bulls probably at best 4th or 5th best team in the East right now. And I don't think that's going to be enough to get out of the second round. So it's a big splash I like to see, but the whole thing about it is look how much they had to give up for DeMar DeRozan. I mean, you're giving up for another first rounder. You give it up. You're giving up second round picks. You're giving up all types of stuff for a guy who's long in the tooth. So are you putting all of your marbles? I can't tell. I was thinking, but trying to think of what else you can put in the bucket that I would want. I don't even know if I want marbles.
You can put
some other things you can put in the
bucket.
No, I don't want to put the balls in the bucket, sir.
You put your balls in the bucket.
Wow, bro.
But
that's crazy. That's so love, bro.
The question is right. The question is right now because you paid DeRozan, now because you've done these things, you can't give Zach LaVine a max contract next year. So he could walk. Now what do you have left with the Bulls? I understand what they're trying to do. But long term, is this the best move for the Chicago Bulls? Or somehow, unless this all comes together really right, I don't think it is.
Zach LaVine ain't going nowhere. Where do you think he's going? The Lakers, the Clippers, the Nets, somewhere where he's going to go get a veterans minimum to go just so he can get a championship ring. Zach LaVine want to be the man. He'll
do more than a veterans minimum.
Listen, I'm speaking from a personal place with this. I can say it because he has a light-skin complex. He wants to be the man. He ain't going to be the man nowhere else but Chicago. And he knows that. He ain't going nowhere. Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Let's ask a question.
They'll find a way to pay him. They will. They found a way to pay everybody else. They found a way to pay Alex Caruso, Cristiano Felicio's money. They'll figure out a way to pay him Zach LaVine money.
Well, whose team is this now? Is this still Zach LaVine's team now, or is this DeMar Rose's team?
It ain't Lonzo Ball's team.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's 23. I mean, he's the one piece that sort of makes sense. He's 23 years old. He's a better jump shot, a better three-point shooter than he was before. You know what I'm saying? He is a long-term fit for your ball club.
He couldn't have got no worse.
We've been talking about Lonzo Ball for a long time right now coming to the Bulls. This is a really good fit for him. So the question is him and that – go ahead.
So we're looking at Lonzo Ball, a 15-point average. Let's just say worst-case scenario, DeRozan comes in 20, LaVine 25, Vucevic 20. That's at 40, 65. So we're looking at 80 points just off our starting four. I mean, I don't see that as a bad thing, you know. I mean, Caruso may come in, throw another 9 or 10. I don't know what Patrick Ewing, or if they even keep marketing, or I don't know what they're doing with the 4 and 5 position right now. That's going to be our greatest weakness. You can't expect Vucevic to hold it down for that much. And and when you're talking about long in the tooth players, he's who I look at as like, wait a minute, you're expecting him to hold down the old guard slash center big man position, and he's on the back end of his career. You got to find him some help.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was all for the Spurs taking marketing over Thaddeus Young. I was a little surprised that they went with that. I just figured they would have gave marketing as kind of a, you know, collateral damage, kind of here you go kind of thing. You know, Thaddeus Young made more sense to the Bulls, in my opinion. But we'll see.
That shows you how devalued Lauri Markkanen is, that Thaddeus Young did go before him.
True.
You know, even though the money wasn't going to be the same, but we all could say for a fact, I'd rather see Thaddeus Young in the Bulls uniform than Lauri Markkanen in the Bulls uniform.
But to go back to your question, this is still Zach LaVine's team. No question about it. We have guards in place now, though, that can score when they need to. Simple as that. We're watching NBA where if you don't have a dominant player like Giannis or Durant,
absolutely,
you've got to put a core amount of players around you that can score just as well as everybody else can. Look at LeBron and the Lakers. You've got to put that many people around you that can score the ball, because one person just can't dominate anymore, unlike other players.
So Rich, let's look at this from the. Who is LeBron-esque? Who is this guy on the Bulls? Is it Zach LaVine? Is that our quasi superstar? Is he our Giannis? Is he our any one of these? Because you need one of these top flight guys right now in the NBA to win a championship. I mean, even though we look at Milwaukee and go, well, they didn't have all the great names there, they still had one of the greatest players of all time playing on their basketball team. And all of these teams had to have somebody like that. On the Chicago Bulls, the only person you can really put in that category right now is Zach LaVine. You know what I'm saying? Can you put him in that? But can you mention him? Can you even mention Zach LaVine in the same breath as a Devin Booker? Is he that guy? Can you talk about them? Are they at the same level? I don't know. I think Devin Booker is a little half a step higher than Zach LaVine, maybe a full step higher than Zach LaVine, because he's consistent about what he gets done. You know what I'm saying? He was doing it before Chris Paul got there. Now, did Chris Paul help him out? Yeah, he did tremendously. But you look and see, is Alonzo Ball going to have the Chris Paul effect here in Chicago and make Zach LaVine a better basketball player? We have to wait and see, because we know Lonzo Ball is a pass-first guy. Even though he defends better, he's going to be a great defender. But the question is now, can he make Zach LaVine a better basketball player? Because that is the only way Chicago has a chance in the East, is that Zach LaVine becomes a supernova. And that's the only way they're going to, you got to be talking about him just like you talk about all the other big guys around the league. And I just don't know if Zach LaVine's that guy.
When Zach LaVine woke up on the wrong side of the bed, he was still dropping 20 points a game. When he woke up on the right side of the bed, he was hitting 50. He was dropping 50 pieces on boys.
He was first option though. He was first option on a bad basketball team.
That's my point. You weren't first option. You were the only option. You could have just told. It was absolutely. It was kind of like Steph Curry last year with the Warriors. It was like, put everybody and go guard LaVine, and because nobody else is going to score a bucket. I don't care if you give the ball to Patrick Williams right underneath the basket. He's still not going to score. Just guard LaVine, and he was still dropping points on.
Patrick Ewing right now over Patrick Williams.
What? I'm sorry.
I take Patrick Ewing over Patrick Williams, right?
I'll take Patrick Ewing Jr. or the third.
So we've just broken news.
I guess he's trying.
Patrick Williams is
shut this up with the horn.
Patrick Ewing's son. So let's ask this on the back end with Kobe White. Rich, let me ask you, where does Kobe White fit in as he begins to move forward? Because now you got, you know who. You want to act, don't act brand new.
Wow, bro.
Don't act brand new.
That's so
Don't act brand new. So, Rich, where's his fit in now with this squad? Where does he fit in as future or asset?
I know where he fits in.
G League.
I know where he fits in.
G League.
Wow.
Jettison him out of the spaceship somewhere else to get evaporated in when, whatever comes back into the atmosphere and burns up and whatever else like that. I don't care.
Okay. So, Jay, he's coming
off the bench.
They have a few roster spots that they have to fill. How do they go about, what is it, the first thing that they need to fill now if you're the Bulls and you're up against it cap-wise? Because you still got to get rid of marketing's money. So how do you go and fill in now these pieces and spaces where you need players?
You got to go around and find some tough bodies to put in there. You got to get in there. You got to get you some 4s and 5s that are going to bang, that are going to foul, that are going to play tough around, that are going to get on the boards for you. The biggest problem that the Chicago Bulls right now is that they don't have an identity. They're not a tough team. They're not a fast team. They're not any team. They got to get on the boards. They got to box people out. They need to look at Milwaukee and see if they can find a Tucker type of player. They need that guy here. They need some of that old Detroit Pistons tough guy basketball. They need somebody in here like that right now. And they had him in Bobby Portis, but they decided because he punched somebody upside the head, he just wasn't that type of guy because that old regime was just soft and weak. You need to go get some hard hustle and muscle up in here. You need to get some tough guys. I would love to see some 6'6", 6'7" guys playing at the 4 who are just going to put their body on you, play tough defense, knock you around a bit, box out, and get to the glass. Those are the type of guys that they need right now.
True.
Okay.
True.
So that's what. Now you go and find. Are they in the G League? Where are these now players? I'm thinking about one in Minnesota. There's
to Europe.
one I like there. Europe.
Who you got in Minnesota?
You go to
Who you got in Minnesota?
They have a backup center in Minnesota. And there's some talk about there being interest in Laurie Marketing
Laugh at you.
with going to the Timberwolves. They look at, you want to find somebody. I'm looking at guys that I've looked at throughout the season who would battle, who would bang with you. Again, you had your Bobby Portis, and mind you, Bobby Portis, just re-signed for 2 years, $9 million, I believe that's correct.
Portis
right. Nothing.
Though.
He signed for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He crazy though.
But you need crazy.
That's true. But you don't need crazy to go smack Lonzo Ball around when he get mad because his father said something crazy.
Well, hey, but you need that guy on your team. You need that tough guy on your team. The Bulls don't have a tough guy right now. And they need a couple of tough guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting right now. I mean, you got it. Like, if you look at the Slovenia team, and I forgot what the guy's name that's playing with Luka Doncic. They got a couple of guys on there that you can find who will come in, who can shoot the outside jumper, but who will bang down low. And the Bulls need somebody like that. They need a couple of guys like that. I hope they go find them, because if they come in here and stay weak on the glass, it's going to be a long year for the Bulls, and this thing could implode quickly. Because we know Lonzo Ball is a piece. He's not anything to build around, but he could be a guy who could be a good complementary piece to a player, to a team that needs that toughness. But if they don't build this team like this, it's going to be a long season. I'm hoping it all comes together. But like I said, DeMar DeRozan, you talk about a guy, was he 31, 32 years old right now?
Something like that.
32.
So, yeah,
He'll be
32. So, I mean, they fall off the cliff real quick when they get around 32, especially guys like him who have to play and play tough on the inside. Those guys, especially have to carry the load to score. He's got to score more than what he's scoring at the Spurs. They need 5 or 6 more points a game out of him at least.
What I do like about what Chicago is doing, if you look at the rest of the East, and getting out of the East is not easy. I have struggled to try to figure out now which conference is tougher now between the East and the West. They're both extremely tough, but the East seems more of a shooting conference now, where you look at the likes of the Nets, where they'll just shoot out of the building. Trae Young with the Hawks, and now you have Chicago. Like you said, they're formulating their team around lights out shooting. They're not focused too much on bang down the post, because guess what? Out in the East, outside of Philadelphia, who else is doing that? Everybody else is get the ball up into the rim, and hey, we got a shot. It's good. We're good. Now, like I said, outside of maybe Philadelphia and maybe Milwaukee, but everybody else, it's a shooters conference.
Okay, with that said, shooters conference, and it's funny now that we're switching. The West was always known as your shooting. The East was known as your bangers. All right, so let's ask about some teams in the East. One of the teams in particular being the New Jersey, well, I keep saying New Jersey Nets. I guess that's going to be with me forever. So Brooklyn's trying to get players, but New York did something I never thought I would see. And that was New York gave Derrick Rose more money than I thought they even had possible. How is it, G Sizzle, that New York decided that Derrick Rose was worth a $40 million contract, and they brought back Taj Gibson and everybody else.
Because they're going nowhere and they know it. And they just try to keep people coming to is it Madison Square Garden they play in? Or is that gone now? Is it now defunct? Look, the only reason why you signed Derrick Rose to that type of money is because you want to say you have Derrick Rose. The Knicks don't have enough. I mean, you still got old school Taj Gibson. I call him old school because he was playing back there when I was in the park. I mean, Taj Gibson's been around forever right now. He's that guy who's playing in the Stacey Adams and the knee-high silk socks. He's that guy still out there balling. I don't know, Taj is amazing. But the issue is that Knicks team doesn't have a chance to compete. They don't have a chance to compete. Spike Lee can jump up and down and do the right thing, do the wrong thing, whatever he wants to do. The Knicks ain't going nowhere. And so now you have a old veteran grizzled guard up there who at some point in time, he ain't gonna be worth that $40 million. We're waiting. You and I both know it's coming. You can't play Derrick Rose. You can't play Derrick Rose 82 games and think he's gonna make it through the season. That ain't gonna happen.
How do we get to 10 years in the league being old grizzled veteran? I mean, I think that money is well deserved. I mean, okay, look. So Kyle Lowry went to the Heat. There's your point guard. Lonzo Ball went to the Bulls. There's another point guard. What other point guard do we really have to talk about? We already knew where Chris Paul was going to go. Russell Westbrook, he wasn't even a free agent. He just kind of, I don't know what that happened, you know what I'm saying? Kind of Cinderella story. I want to go play with my bro. So all you had left was...
That's the best.
I know. All you had left was Derrick Rose. What they paid him, like we said before, they're paying everybody $20 million a year. That ain't nothing. That's kind of the league standard for a starting player right now. It's $20 million.
Well, to your point, I mean, there is the $36 million, $85 million, and the $120. That was kind of what everything got chopped up into. But here's my question, and I'm going to throw it up as a toss-up. Which, since we just talked about it, which is the worst move? And Jay, I'm going to start off with you. Bradley Beal staying in Washington, or the Miami Heat paying Jimmy Butler all the money in the state of Florida? Which one to you? So I'll let you take that one. Which one is worse for you? I don't know. I just know that if Jimmy Butler gets that much money, he should be able to get a haircut somewhere.
Look, man, I don't know what the Miami Heat's doing. What are they doing? I mean, they showed you what was going to happen last year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was the best run they're going to make. You know, and now you're going to give out. Again, I think guys are out here playing for, what do you want to call it? Your reputation. It's just like a gangster in the street back in the neighborhood, right? All he had to do was fight one guy or run up there and hit a guy with a baseball bat, or, you know, shoot somebody's taillights at the car. And all for now for the next 10 years, he gets a pass until you find out somebody actually goes hands up with him and he can't fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same situation here. Jimmy Butler, I love Jimmy Butler, but at this price, you know what I'm saying? He's on it down. I think you're spending this money for these long in the tooth, and he's another grizzled veteran. You're paying this long money. I think it hinders you on the back end, because all your money's going to be tied up in paying these extra long deals, and now you're going to be trying to get rid of them. You know, and he's got $22 million. Look at Lauri Markkanen. Look at Lauri Markkanen. You know the reason why he ain't going nowhere? Because he's got to pay $11 million for him to go somewhere, and ain't nobody want to pay it. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what the problem. If he had $5 million, he'd been gone. $7 million, he'd been gone. I don't know. I just don't think these teams right now. I mean, you got these guys that got to fill out these rosters. They got to put butts in the seat. And I think that's the main thing what's happening with that one too. I think you saw the best of the Miami Heat, and I don't understand why they gave that much money, but Jimmy's happy. But Jimmy, I'm not gonna say too much else, because Jimmy might come get me.
But Jimmy buckets gets you to the playoffs. He does.
Absolutely.
He does.
And is that enough? Is that enough?
Okay, again. Again, when you're talking about the Mount Olympus of the NBA right now, we can rule out about 26 teams right now and just keep it about 6 to 8 teams that we're even talking about could possibly make it out of each conference. We're talking about Brooklyn. We're talking about Milwaukee. We're talking about the Lakers, maybe the Clippers, I don't know, and the Warriors and maybe the Suns. That's it. Who else really has a legitimate shot in going to the finals? I'll wait. Out of the 16s I just rattled off my head, who else has a legitimate shot? So absolutely. What you're facing now is you hope. I mean, I don't hope nobody gets hurt, but if you're an opposing franchise team, you're hoping for the inevitable injuries, and you're hoping to sneak on in there and steal one away. Simple as that. So Jimmy Butler can do that if half the league gets hurt, like it happens, or half the league catches COVID or the Delta variant or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And Miami somehow magically stays healthy, and they all those things factor together. Yeah, sure, why not? They caught everybody by surprise in the bubble, but.
Yeah, they caught everybody in surprise in the bubble. You know who else was in the bubble?
Can we throw one more thing in there right quick?
No, because you don't do anything right quick because we right at the line.
Let Jay do it.
Let me throw. Okay. You know the Bulls played Alex Caruso $37 million.
Mm-hmm.
You do know that, right?
4 years, yeah.
Okay.
$37 million.
That's $9 million a year.
Okay.
I just want to say Alex Caruso.
Cristiano,
a bench player.
Joe's money. I felt like that was a great deal.
Yeah. Hey, Cristiano Feliciano, Jose Feliciano, is he still going to be playing? I wonder if he's going to find a way to stay. I think he's just going to show up and sit at the end of the bench anyway for the Bulls to show up.
Who is going to pick him up?
He'll be playing for the Olympic teams for the next 20 years.
The Pelicans, and you've had
the Spurs, sit next to Scottie Pippen.
And you've had any other team in signing trade deals. Nobody has said anything about Cristiano. Yeah, we'll take him in exchange for signing trade. They would rather take the washer and dryer set.
All right. Wow. That's it. We got to bring this to a close. But listen, you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television. When we come back on our next show, we're going to talk a lot about the Olympics because everything's getting ready to wrap. Big shout out to Ms. Stock, first female U.S. black woman wrestler, melanated first wrestler to win gold in American history, in U.S. history, in Olympic history. Shout out to you. We salute you and we salute your efforts. And I will not be wrestling you. That's all I know. I'm not going to be too old for all that.
Sydney McLaughlin, another world record. I think that's one of the greatest rivalries we've seen, and it's going to continue to go on. Her and Jalila. Jalila Muhammad ran a world record today too, and came in second.
Mm-hmm. So amazing. It's a lot of amazing stuff going on. But
wait a minute, hold on. So Jay sat there the last time a few shows ago and talked about how the USA basketball team wasn't going to win another game.
Yeah, well.
What happened to all that?
Well, look, hey, let me explain something to you. Are they in the gold medal game now? Or is it over?
Where they at? I just know they win.
I think they won. I did beat Spain, right?
They beat Spain.
The fat lady still ain't sung yet. The fat lady still ain't sung yet. I think that was the quarterfinals that they won right there. We still got to see if they're going to continue to pull this thing together. You still got some teams out there. Luka Doncic is waiting. All right, Luka Doncic is waiting, and they're going to be tough out there. Luka go score 50.
Wait a minute. You sat there and said that the USA team was not going to medal. Now, all of a sudden, you talk about gold.
No, what I'm saying to you, they pulled it together. It didn't look like they were going to medal. But you said that. But here's the issue about it, right? They should have lost a ball game.
Facts.
Not one.
I'll give you that.
Not one. When you're rolling out the best players in the world and you go out there and get beat by Nigeria, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, well, there's nothing else to talk about because that's it. We're done. We're like a bad Nigerian Olympic team. We're out of here. We're gone.
Nigeria's good though.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just like to say it. I like to say Nigeria.
I like to see a couple of Nigerian players playing for the Chicago Bulls. I think that's where they need to go over there and get some of them 6'8", 6'9" guys who could jump to the top of the backboard. That's what they need to go do.
Don't diss Nigeria. It's on my bucket list of places I need to go.
Okay, well, great. You go over there, find some Bulls players, and you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle. He's Rich Sizzle. He's J Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle, and I will see you. They will see you. We will see you on the other side.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at Iron Skillet Sports.